fall of man. Have you ever had someone try to talk you into doing something that you knew was wrong? Well, something similar happened to both Adam and Eve soon after God created the garden. You see, when God was making the Garden of Eden, He planted 2 trees in it. One tree had fruit that would give you life, but the other tree had fruit that would give you death. It was known as the tree of knowledge of good and evil. You see, Adam and Eve only knew the good that God created. But this tree would also give them the knowledge of evil, pain, suffering, and eventually death. Now, God wanted Adam and Eve to trust Him, so He gave them only one rule. Don't eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, or you will die. One day, when they were in the garden, they met a snake. Now this snake was the enemy of God. He wanted to destroy all the good that God made. So he tempted them and convinced them to eat the fruit of the forbidden tree. They did what they knew was wrong, and for the first time, they sinned. They ate the fruit and suddenly felt naked, vulnerable, and ashamed. Soon after that, they heard God coming to hang out with them. But instead of the usual joy and excitement of talking with their Creator, they were covered with fear and resentment. So they hid. When God found them and asked them what they did, they didn't repent. They didn't say they were sorry. Instead, they blamed one another for their own sin. God's heart was broken. The best part of His creation rejected Him. Adam and Eve brought evil into the garden. God's creation was no longer the good He created. It had become corrupted. The children He made would now face evil, pain, and suffering instead of the joy and bliss of the garden. However, God made a plan. He set in motion a plan to save men from their own evil. He made a promise that one day a king would come and defeat the evil snake and save mankind. Thank you for watching. Consider liking, subscribing, or sharing this video with a friend.